A very good morning, and it is my great pleasure to welcome two of our exemplary alumni for the Alumni Lecture Series. This series is actually a celebration of their journeys, achievements, and experiences who continue to make us proud. Today, we are privileged to have with us two of our distinguished alumni, Dr. Anand Kulkarni and Dr. Ritu Khosla. A very warm welcome with a big round of applause. Their professional journeys actually exemplify excellence, perseverance, and innovation, and their accomplishments reflects not only their individual dedication but also the values and spirit of their institution. Without further ado, let us begin this inspiring session. I warmly invite Dr. Anand at first. And Dr. Anand is presently a senior consultant and director of critical care hepatology at Asian Institute of Gastroenterology, Hyderabad. He completed his DM in hepatology in 2018 of the batch, and he has over 150 published papers. Awards and achievements, there's a long list of awards, and recently it's a big proud for us that he has been awarded as a Parcel Rising Star 2026, SR Nayak Best Researcher Award by Indian Society of Gastroenterology, Early Career Investigator Award at ASLD for the year 2022-2021, Associate Fellow for National Academy of Medical Sciences, Academic Excellence Award 2017-2018 from ILBS for the Best Outstanding Student of the Year by ILBS, New Delhi. So it's a great pleasure to have Dr. Anand with long list of awards, achievements, and a very exemplary journey, which will be very inspiring for our students. Thank you, Dr. Anand, for joining us online. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sukriti, for the kind words. Actually, I owe all my awards to my teachers at ILBS and my parents. I am nothing without their support. To begin with, Sukriti has made clear that I should not be talking about anything about science or anything and just touch upon what my journey was after ILBS. Before I go to what actually was after ILBS, I'll just touch upon what I was at ILBS. This is the first day of selection at ILBS. We were four of us having fun after we got selected. We were a little confused whether to continue, what to do, what has to be done, hepatology, whether we can practice. We are all from a very small town. I came from a town called Raichur, a very small district at Karnataka, which is very close by to Hyderabad. So the biggest city we saw at that time was Hyderabad itself. So we were a little apprehensive about our future, but we were sure that we will do something out of this journey. And when we discussed with many of my colleagues and my teachers and my friends across India, they're all like, ILBS is a great institute. You should do the hepatology over there. So this was the first day of induction, 8 July 2015. Dr. Ganguly sir and Sarin sir, everybody is seen over here. We started our work with a lot of work. There are too many works, too many patients to be seen. Each one of us had one ward or ICU to be taken care of. This is we working at ILBS. We had a small presentation room where at 8 o'clock we were supposed to present the cases which we had seen the previous day in ICU. This is our colleagues working over there. For us, the role models coming from a very small town, we were unaware of how to work in Delhi. So for us, the role models for those from UP like Apur Pandey, Manjul Mishra, Junaid Khan, who taught us how to work in these conditions and what actually is Delhi. The temperature, the climate, where exactly to go for eating the food and all those things was taught to us by Harsh. I'm really thankful to all my colleagues and my juniors and my seniors for making understand and ILBS and also enjoy the journey throughout. Not only that, we are very really grateful for all the teachers, Dr. Shastri, Dr. Ashok. Everyone was made sure that we would have fun at ILBS. We celebrated a lot of birthdays over there. Even during birthdays, we were some of our colleagues like Karan, who always asked us the questions about the patients. So we are always in fun as well as understanding about the patient journey, understanding how to treat a patient, how to manage a patient. But we never stopped enjoying our days at ILBS. Frequent get-togethers. Dr. Ashok always taught us about what is CIRS, what is sepsis, what is ACLF. But we also had a golden window period. We had enjoyment of our own. We had multiple get-togethers during those days. Sarin, we had Apostle 2018, which was conducted during our tenure at ILBS. We also had a lot of academic sessions, which we understood how to present at global stage, how to be part of organizing committee, and what else has to be done. So not only academics, I learned many things from ILBS, and which we are completely grateful to.
Anand, tell about that photo and your daughter. Go back.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
UBS. Yeah,
This was the first birthday which we celebrated at ILBS in the Adyan hostel. There was a lot of birthdays used to happen in the ground floor of Adyan hostel, and this we were grateful for Sarin sir to attend our daughter's birthday over there.
yes,
I mean, there are a lot of birthdays which I have the whole memory, the whole phone is filled with all the photos which I have of all the birthdays. But really grateful that everybody came to our birthday, all the family members and the teachers had come to this birthday on the first birthday which we did at ILBS. Then we had Dr. Rajan, who used to give us parties in in the hostel home itself. His wife is a very good cook, and we had a lot of fun at his home itself later on. But we never stopped being together, even during ILBS and after ILBS. Also, we even now meet at drills, and we have a lot of fun when we are together. But during this tenure, we had learned a lot of things. We had two major events all throughout the year. One was the ASLD abstract submission deadline, and we were always supposed to work on our thesis, prepare our performance, show the performance to our teachers, Dr. Raki, Sarin sir. Everybody was very particular that we should conduct our studies in a robust manner. So this was very useful for us. I went through most of our mails, and I got that trash, redo, revise, submit, and prepare the paper. Without preparation of the paper, you were not allowed to attend the ASLD or present the abstract. That kept us going, and that kept us very I mean, we had learned a lot of things, and we thought that inspiring journey made us what we are today. We actually wanted to go to ASLD just to avoid the work, but at ASLD we get a lot of mails from sir and Rake madam that they have to show our presentations. There was anxiety of our presentation. Getting oral presentation was very good for us, but getting oral presentation during the ASLD time was a little tense moment, because we had to work overnight to prepare the slides, present the slides at a global stage with the background of Dr. Sarin and Dr. Aki, where we and Dr. Ashok, everybody. We are the face of ILBS, and that anxiety was always at the back of our mind. But that led to what we had publications from ILBS. This was the initial publications, the letter to editors, case reports, and case series, which I published from under the guidance of Dr. Sarin, Dr. Manoj, and Dr. Ashok at Dr. Shastri from ILBS. At that time, I felt probably a publication is quite easy. We can do publications, but I didn't know what actually it is, because I was always guided by my seniors, by teachers, and we were under a cocoon where we were sure that probably everything will be okay if Dr. Sarin is at the back of us. Not only that, we have to present our journals, and journals had to be very important for the students over there. If you think journals presentation is of no use, trust me, it is a very great exercise. We learn a lot of things. This was one mail which I stored in, which I still read today, and this has helped me write papers as well. The format for a journal should always have concepts, lacunae, and study design, the results and the analysis together, the summary, the similar studies and the differences, the limitations, way forward applications. This mail actually is how to present a journal, how to understand a journal, and how to write a paper. This has made my life lot of easy, because I had a lot of failures in the beginning of my career. And this, whenever I see this mail, I feel that okay, this is how we write a paper. This is how we present a journal. That led to one of our theses under the guidance of Dr. Lokesh Anand and Sarin sir. We had this thesis on omega-3 fatty acids, which was awarded the Fellow Research Award from AASLD, which is only one award given every year throughout the world. And really honored and humbled, because this was under the sir's guidance that I got this award, and this was published as well in Journal of Gastroenterology and Hepatology. A robust study under the guidance, we also had a lot of performance which we have done, and we collected the data, and we showed that there is reduction in the infections by use of omega-3 fatty acids. And some of the comments which actually inspired me to take up research was these. One of the classes where Apur was presenting some thesis, and somebody asked, this is not how a guideline should work, or this is not a actual study which has to be done. And Dr. Sareen said, we are here to make the guidelines, not to just follow them blindly. We should lead the world. That stuck in my mind, and then felt that, okay, we should, that is what the science is, that is what hepatology is. And improving survival of sick patients was our aim. Not every patient needs to be undergo for transplant. How to prevent transplant, how to improve the survival without taking their, resort the financial burden or anything else. We have to make sure the patients survive longer. A common word which I hear from my research colleagues like Sukriti and all my colleagues, whereas publish or perish was a common word which was used at that time. And I used to hear from my seniors that खुशी इसी में है कि एक ओरिजिनल आर्टिकल आ जाए बस काफी है, इसको जल्दी से पब्लिश करो, करना है was a frequent word used by Sarin sir and Dr. Raki, that जल्दी लिखो, जल्दी पब्लिश करो, बहुत important है. And sir is to introduce any of the seniors and any of the consultants that इसका देखो, इसका hepatology में छप गया, इसका JF में छप गया. He got a oral presentation that motivated us to work and do something unique for our patients, something unique to represent India at a global stage. That is when I developed a passion for hepatology and research, and probably I decided that instead of going back to home and do some private practice and endoscopies, I'll probably stick to research at ILBS. But I came back to AIG hospitals thinking that probably I will do something similar, but I had lot of rejections. 2018 to 2020, almost like 80 to 100 rejections. The mail was flooded with, my mails are flooded with rejection letters. So many rejections that I thought I was just so much depressed that I thought I would not do anything. It is better that I do something at my hometown itself. So life after ILBS was not easy. We were very busy at ILBS. We always had the passion to work. We were always in the wards working for the patients, preparing the presentations, preparing the papers, abstracts. But then life becomes so boring because I had a lot of rejections, and I had doubts about my ability. I had only poster presentations for 1 or 2 years. There are no patients, no data, no work. I used to feel bored with working over here, and I started investing time in endoscopy. But the life were altogether unsatisfactory. But when I was in ILBS, it was very easy to publish, easy to present oral presentations at ASLD and all. It was because of the reputation which was built up by our teachers. Just the presence of the name ILBS, many of the articles would go for, almost 95% of the articles would invariably go for review. They may be rejected or accepted, but yes, they used to go for review. But here, most of my articles were rejected from the desk itself. That is when my teacher, Dr. P.N. Rao, told me that you should do something like meta-analysis. He gave me this book. He introduced me to Dr. Raj Reddy, said that he has passion for research, he has passion for writing, help him out. So I started working on meta-analysis initially, and I had Harsh who had come here at that time. We did a lot of meta-analysis during those times. This was the first meta-analysis published in the APNT and had more than 300 citations. The second one was published in Lancet eClinical Medicine. Then I got some confidence that I can do research as well. Then this was the American Journal of Transplant article on early transplant after COVID-19, which became one of the part of the guidelines for ASLD, where we reported how to do transplant after COVID-19 infection. We started some basic science work because we were ingrained in doing some of the basic science work from ILBS, because we had some articles with Dr. Ashish, Dr. Sukriti on the use of endotoxin levels and all those things. So some basic science knowledge we had. So we started doing vaccine responses in patient with cirrhosis and transplant recipients. And multiple publications in various journals through collaborations and through our individual case reports was published during the COVID-19. Probably I'm one among those 130,000 individuals who started publishing during those COVID-19 period. Then I got to know that how to project yourself, how to convince that it's your idea, it's your project, and it's your ability, and protocol should always be reproducible. That is how I started building some research projects over here. And then we had the first publication, independent study from AIG published in American Journal of Gastro on the use of norfloxacin prophylaxis for patients with acute and chronic liver failure. There was some reduction in the infections, but there was no such mortality benefits seen in this study. Coming here, we had a robust ICU setup at ILBS. So we were working continuously with the sick patients. So we had good exposure for CRRT, plasma exchange, and whatnot. Coming here, there was no much ICU support. So we started the ICU here. A separate ICU was given to us. We had protocolized management of acute liver failure, acute and chronic liver failure. we started using plasma exchanges, which was very infrequently used over here. And we now are the number one in the South India to use plasma exchange as per the individuals who support us for plasma exchange. We also published standard volume plasma exchange as effective as high volume plasma exchange, and that has become the standard of care for all the patients in AIG. We also had this trial on rifaximin, which has been published in American Journal of Gastro, where we showed that patients who get admitted to ICU who are sick and are on broad spectrum antibiotics may not benefit from the addition of rifaximin. We had a lot of alcohol patients and ACLF patients, and we had managed these patients, and then I was promoted to as a director of critical care hepatology over here. Since we had a lot of alcoholic hepatitis patients, this study, which was presented at the ASLD as a late breaker plenary presentation, had received multiple attention from multiple journals, and here we showed that reduction of steroids rapidly will reduce the risk of infections. This was also captured by the Lancet GastroHep in the liver meeting 2024, the NEGM Journal Watch, and recently the Annals of Internal Medicine. They also quoted this study saying what you may have missed in 2025. So humbled that this study on infections in patients with alcoholic hepatitis was captured by multiple major journals across the world. This was not possible without any support from ILBS. I learned how to do statistics, how to utilize statistics from Dr. Guresh and Dr. Ankit, who helped me understand how to register a protocol. And this was all under the guidance of Dr. Sarin. He had built a very good team that everything is protocolized, every thesis is done in the proper way, everything is scrutinized, and everything is registered in the national websites and the national clinicaltrials.com. And we were honored to have Dr. Sarin sir over here, where he presented his book on the journey of the patients he has seen in the past several decades. And this is why we are here, that we learned a lot of things from ILBS and a lot of things from Sarin sir, and a lot of things from the teachers at ILBS, including the statistics part, which is very important for us in these days. The other thesis, which Dr. Sukriti was also part of, was the addition of midodrine to prevent PICD. This again led to second study from our institute recently published in Hepatology Communications, where we showed addition of midodrine to patients for ascites may not be of great survival benefit for these patients. So everything what I have done, I have just learned during my days at ILBS, and even now today I continue to learn from my alma mater. Some studies on alcohol liver disease and ACLF. One of the studies which was published in Hepatology International, which has been cited more than 20 times, is the healthcare utilization of living donor liver transplantation for ACPA-defined acute and chronic liver failure. Good number of attention is given for early living donor liver transplantation for alcohol-associated hepatitis as well. And recently we published on recompensation in ALD, which was a multi-center study including around 400 patients, published recently in Gastro Advances. So multiple things. These are probably what we learned from ILBS is seeing our patients is not important, how to improve their outcomes and how to report what will happen and how can we modify their course was what I learned, and that I have been trying to replicate in smaller efforts over here under the guidance of my teachers over here. We have a lot of HCC patients apart from alcohol and ACLF. So we started doing multiple studies on alcohol, hepatocellular carcinoma also. That is the reason recently we have been given this Center for Excellence, and I lead this part of the Center of Excellence for HCC at AIH hospitals. We have a research lab doing some basic science research over here, and we have a biobank of around 5,500 patients. Very small biobank compared to what it is there at ILBS, but we are just putting smaller efforts to build something on liver here. We also did some collaboration with University of Hyderabad, assessing the prevalence of MASLD in IT employees, and we found the obesity is very high, that is 71%, and metabolic syndrome is around more than 30%, and 30% of the individuals are grade 2 or fatty liver. That is when I developed that I should do something for the community as well. And in collaboration with Indian Institute of Public Health under the guidance of Dr. Reddy, we started this rural area liver disease screening, and we screened around 5,000 individuals. Found out that almost 65% of rural Telangana consume alcohol and 20% have alcohol dependence, high alcohol consumption. And this was basically concentrating on alcohol use disorder as well as steatotic liver disease, but which has not been touched in the rural areas. Last but not the least, I'm immensely thankful to my friends, Dr. Akash, Dr. Karan, Harsh, Madhumita, Suprabhat, and my collaborators across world who have been very kind and helpful to me throughout my journey. And we have been working together. We send across each of our manuscripts, critically assess each other's manuscript, and help write the manuscript as well. And this research idea, the passion for hepatology, the seed was sown by Sarin sir, and then which was nurtured by Dr. Piyendra and Dr. Raj Reddy. And under the guidance of Dr. Nageshwar Reddy, who has been very helpful and supportive for all my research projects, he gives, of course, since funding is a major issue for doing some basic science research, he has been very helpful in providing a lot of funds for do some basic science research, and has provided a large research lab to do work on HCCs and alcoholic hepatitis as well. It's always a fun to discuss about ILBS. We are always you look back at ILBS. This is some of the photos from our convocation and the last day of dinner with Sarin sir and family and the whole ILBS team. One of the photos where I received the Excellence Award, my mother was there. She was ecstatic because I had never won any awards at that time, and this is one of the awards which I won at that time. I had some only smaller awards, academic awards, won at the school level, but nothing later. These are multiple photos taken at drills. Drills is basically a get together of ILBS. I hope that everyone will be there, and I look forward to meeting all of you at drills next week. Thank you so much.